Hi there, my name is Daniel Mayer. You will hear my strange accent. I was born and raised in Mexico and lived many years in England. And for the past 20 years, I've lived in San Diego, California. A mis colegas mexicanos los saludo con mucho gusto. A ver qué día nos echamos una pachanga, aunque sea por Zoom. It's been a rough start for me with the activities of this class. And that is because I'm in the final stages of setting up the defense for a PhD dissertation, which will likely take place in the next couple of weeks. It's a dissertation in philosophy that I've been working on for many decades. Back in the 80s, I worked in primate conservation, and the dissertation originated there. I worked with monkeys and found them delightful. And when I read books in primatology, I found that the monkeys weren't there. There was all kinds of stuff about physiology, ecology, all kinds of things, but the wonderful experience of just relating to monkeys was nowhere to be found. And eventually I realized that this was a problem in the philosophy of science. I work with a lot of philosophy. And I realized that the problem of understanding monkeys and living beings in general is really much more akin to understanding group dynamics, much less like understanding mechanical objects. And my sense is that so long as biology, the science of living being, tries to be like physics, that'll never happen. So that's what the dissertation does. It digs down to the very roots of the problem, showing why classical logic is simply not equipped to understand aliveness, even though logic itself is rooted in our most fundamental nature as living beings. One of the things I found is that the key problem is that living beings are joined to each other, they relate to each other. And that is the reason why I was attracted to the field of leadership, because leadership is all about relationships and the very complex and subtle dynamics that occur in such systems. And of course, this is nothing like mechanics. I mean, to understand them, you need to understand like the paradoxical dynamics that take place in marriage, for instance, and other, complex systems like that. But of course, thinking and writing about philosophy does not earn an income. So over the years, I worked in education and I did a lot of work as a consultant for organizations. I made training videos. I led projects in quality assurance, certifications in quality assurance in companies like Citizen Watch in Mexico, and was hired as a troubleshooter. And during the last decade, I have taught leadership online. My approach has always been experiential. I organize my classes in teams, which students are invariably resistant to, even resentful about. But at the end of the class, they have thoroughly enjoyed it. And the idea basically is to create a temporary organization so that they can experience firsthand the contents that the class is about. So it's like a massive exercise in group reflection, which leads to astonishing results. And I guess the insight underlying the idea is simple and profound, and it's basically that leadership takes place in the field of longing for contact. Leadership and authority are not the same. They're very different. Authority is all about the overt structure of companies, explicit structures, purposes, management, etc. Whereas leadership involves our deepest values and yearnings. It takes place at a very subtle level, which is basically overlooked by structures of authority. So the more you can make those work complementary, the better it is. So I was very drawn to the content of this class. I'm very much enjoying it. I was hoping that I would be thrown into a team, but so far I've only been thrown into a relationship with a swimming buddy, which has been wonderful. But I guess I still have a yearning for working with a larger group. And one of the things I realized is that this class, the world of this class, the virtual world in which it takes place, offers a wonderful opportunity to try and find that and set up that up for myself. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. If that is of interest to you who's listening to this video, please give me a buzz. Okay, look forward to meeting up.